Greetings.
Howdy.
Welcome.
Hello, Turtlemaniacs. It's your boy. It's your boy Ryan.
It's your boy Easy. And yeah, you're listening to Turtle Soup, the world's only community-supported podcast, YouTube channel, entertainment conglomerate dedicated to the ongoing journey of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the way from the beginning until Stroke Happens Part 2. Excuse me, Part 2.
Oh, Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2. More on that later. Yeah, so for those who are wondering, the Deep Diving Daddies, we're fine. We live in the great state of FLA. That's Florida.
Yes.
That's short for Florida. And we survived the Hurricane Idalia. And did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, Idalia.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It veered west away from Tampa, which is where we are, and we were very fortunate. However, our hearts go out to the people of Perry, Florida, and all of the adjoining cities, South Tallahassee and stuff that got hit directly, as Idalia was a Category 4 when it made landfall. In particular, the city of Perry, kind of underprivileged city of about 7,000 people, lost almost everything.
Jeez.
So we do suggest, if you have the disposable income and would like to help some people, donating to causes that would help Perry or other Central Florida, Northern Florida cities would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Because those people probably won't have anything approaching normal for months and months after this.
That's the
if you look at the pictures of what happened, it was crazy over there.
Yeah, that's the downside of these hurricanes. They're kind of fun if you're we talked about it in the pregame, but like you know the excitement of like something happening, that anything could happen, and the camaraderie of the neighborhood and everything like that. But then there are casualties, and that sucks. But you mentioned people helping other people, and speaking of that, we're on YouTube right now. If you didn't know, if you're just listening to the audio, and one way to further enhance your enjoyment of the show is to come check us out on Tuesdays. Thursday nights is usually when we record these, and you could be a part of the chat group that's going on and all this stuff like that. And you can like and subscribe, and then not come back if you don't want to. And that's cool too.
Yeah,
you have that option, but it still helps us out with the subscriptions and the likes and all the comments and all that. So that's one way if you want to help us out, having also gone through the hurricane. But you know, let's talk about people that actually are giving hard-earned cash, like cold cash, like coinage, cabbage, moon money, all the Skrilla, I can't think of any other banana, or I'm about to say banana terms. Goodness gracious, Ryan, what's wrong with me tonight?
Wow, dude.
It's been a minute. What I was trying to do is there a banana term for money? Like, is it like, I got them peels? No, but it got them nanas. like that's not a money. It's like, I
got bunches of cash. I don't know.
That kind of works. Well, these people are giving us bunches of support, and they have been for a long time, and we really appreciate that. And tonight's episode is brought to you by Mick Lockyer and David Wagner, excuse me. And good, near and dear. Appreciate y'all a lot. And thank you very much for being patrons. If you'd like to be a patron and help Turtle Soup not say clang and stay on the air and do all of the fun things we do and get upgrades to different equipment that we need, you can do that by going over to Patreon and throwing some pennies our way, and we appreciate that. So thank you very much. And Ryan, where are we at on the journey today?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Well, it's weird. It's weird that you'd mention that.
It is. It's very
because
weird.
I have it right here.
You're prepared.
Yeah, we are going way back in time to November 17th, 1997, covering Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation, episode 10, Meet Dr. Queeze.
That's so good. That's such a good title.
And this is a guy who was in the introduction of the episode, and like the during the theme song, you see this like weird dude, and you're like,
right,
who the hell's that guy? And then it turns out there he is.
I love that so much.
Yeah, we'll be covering that today.
I love whenever TV shows have intros where you haven't seen a character yet. And so it makes you want to be like, is this the episode? Is this when it's going to happen? And Kamen Rider's been doing that a lot lately, where they'll have like a scene happen in the intro and you're like, but it's not necessarily like something that you would think is from a clip from the show. It's more like something they shot specifically for the intro. But it's so specific that you feel like it's got some like pertinence or some like relevance. And then like all the way at the end, it's like, oh yeah, remember that scene? Well, this is what that was. And you're like, oh snap. So it makes it worth it the whole time. But anyway, like you said, he's in the intro and that's exciting. Well, Ryan, how you been? How you been, man?
Oh, I've been good. Yeah, despite the hurricane prep and everything, which the pregame show we talked about is really exhausting, and
Oh yeah.
you're kind of like, even though because you just don't know what hurricanes are going to do.
Right.
Like you'll see the track and know that it's far off from you, and then you just don't know what the outer bands are going to do to you. So you're just kind of going, we're not going to get like the super high force wind, but like whatever. So you're doing all this prep, going out to the store, getting all your stuff, not trying not to panic buy, but trying to,
Yeah.
make sure you're good in case, like it's really bad. You just never know with them, because they could turn on a dime. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember Charlie was a Cat 5 that was just scraping up the Florida coast. It was supposed to hit us directly,
Mm.
which if it had, we would still be recovering. I mean,
Oh
it,
yeah.
it was awful. And it just turned to the right
Right.
at oh God, where did it hit? Punta Gorda.
Mm.
Just went meep, and just devastated them. And
That's the sound a hurricane makes, by the way.
we got like the equivalent of like Cat 1 winds over here. And we're like,
Yeah.
what? And
Yeah.
like they were wrecked. So you just don't know what it's gonna do. So yeah, very exhausting. I think the biggest thing that's been going on with me since we last did the podcast is that my family and I are going back and rewatching Pete and Pete.
Oh my
Well, I guess
goodness.
me
Yeah.
rewatching and them. Yeah, because I've been wanting to watch Pete and Pete forever, and somehow we got on that. August was wanting another show for the family to watch over dinner,
Right.
and I was like, man, I started thinking, oh, Pete and Pete. So those things are on YouTube, and dude, so we watch them in order, and it's
Yeah.
been such an awesome thing. I
It's
love
so
that
good.
show to death, dude. I love Pete and Pete so much.
It's near and dear. Yes.
It was a huge part of my childhood, and like, oh, so good.
Do you know if season 3's on YouTube? Because I remember that they didn't put out. I don't think they put out the DVDs for it. Because Shannon, my wife, she was able to get them,
Yeah.
and so we had the DVDs, but we couldn't find season 3. So I got my cool uncle to hook me up. And if y'all,
okay,
need
maybe
those,
if not, I'll be
Yeah.
looking, asking your uncle some questions.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely gonna want to go through it. So
It's
we just
beautiful.
started season 2.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like these episodes, some of them I just based off like the name I remember them,
Okay.
but some of them I don't remember at all until like one element comes up, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I remember that.
Yeah,
You know, but that show was gigantic for me, so it's been really good to have the kids watch it and we all laugh at it and stuff. And
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. And then that Polaris song at the beginning. Hey
dude,
Sandy.
that
Oh,
song, Hey
there-
Sandy, dude,
during
that
the-
song is so good.
During the pandemic, I learned how to play it, and I was gonna cover it because Michael McDonald's, a big fan of the show and bass player in the Paperback Whale, he was doing covers at the time too, and I was like, oh well, I'm gonna do it, and then I never did. But I learned it all, and I played it all the time, and it's so fun and so good. Oh, I love it so
We
much.
just got done watching one of my favorite episodes, one I remember from being a kid, and I hadn't seen since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Which was A Hard Day's Pete, which is the one where he runs into Polaris like playing that song.
Yeah.
And it's like he's like the only song he ever loved.
Right.
But like he can't find him again, and
Yeah.
he forms the band to try to like remember the song.
Oh,
And
yeah.
dude, like that
So
episode
good.
is so near and dear. It's like, and we got done watching it. I remember saying like, this is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And we got done, and everyone was like, "Yeah, no wonder it's like about a band and like
Oh,
a kid
yeah.
plays guitar. Like no wonder it's your favorite." I'm like, "Yeah, it really is."
You're an easy mark for those things, which I am too.
Yeah.
I totally am. I'm right there with you.
So it's so good. But yeah, like it's been fun, especially to watch it with Alicia, because like that was a big part of my childhood.
Oh yeah.
But Alicia didn't really like in that era. Her dad worked for a computer company, and they went all over the world. So she grew up in that era, like in like Iraq and in like, or not Iraq, but Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They went to Egypt, like all this different stuff like that. So she didn't really have Nickelodeon or access to any of that when she was a kid.
I feel so bad for her.
So like
that sounds like the worst.
Yeah, I know. So but it's been really
missed
cool
out.
because like going back, so we watched what Little Salute Your Shorts is on
your boy
a couple years ago. What?
I was gonna say your boy
got all that?
has a cool uncle that hooked him up with them too. Yeah, so
Straight up.
Like if I remember correctly, I do have,
because season 2 was like never released at all.
Yeah,
on any medium.
Yeah.
If you might want to ask your uncle like how complete that is, because
all right,
honestly, the kids loved like what's so. I think it's on Paramount Plus. Like they literally have like what was released on VHS, I think.
Yeah.
Which is like most of season 1 and like 2 episodes from season 2 or something like that. So if you have some of that, that'd be great. Because we went and watched that. She saw that and really liked it. And the kids liked it. yeah, Pete and Pete's been a blast. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's been really fun. So it's kind of been that around here.
that's amazing.
Besides, oh God, Kara killed me the night. So the night the hurricane was coming in, so Tuesday night,
Hmm.
I'm painting and the cat got in our bedroom.
Yeah,
And we usually don't like her in here because there's stuff she can knock over like real
yeah,
bad and
of course.
whatever. So I had the door kind of open, thinking, oh, she might go out. Like if she
Hmm.
hears a noise, she'll run out of the room.
Right.
I'm painting, and the kids are like going back over like their hurricane memories, like
Oh,
and like how
that's
like,
neat.
and it's so funny because like hearing them talk about how nostalgic hurricanes are was really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Um, and so they're talking about how nostalgic they are, and then August was saying, yeah, you gotta watch out for the wind because it can knock down trees, and the trees can like go through your window or go through the roof. And Kara goes, She goes, I'm sure her paint like trying to like paint straight lines. I'm
Right.
like cracking up. She goes, no. She's like, I am not gonna die from a tree. Not in my house.
Not in
And
my
then and then
house.
and then and then she goes, I am not gonna tell the doctor, yo, doctor, I died from a tree.
That's
I'm not gonna say that. And
that's
then August
amazing.
goes, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk to the doctor. And then she goes, I'm cracking up, and
Oh, of course.
she goes, well, I'd have some time,
Oh,
like I have a little time.
yeah,
So
just a little
I'd be
bit.
like, but I would not be like, oh, doctor, oh, I died from the tree, you know. Or I'd be like, she goes, no, I'd lie. I'd say, oh, there was a little kid under a tree, and I went and got him, but then the tree killed me. Oh, like that,
That's so
dude. It's
that's so
cracking
good.
me up. And August like couldn't get over the whole like if
But
you're
you'd be
dead, you
dead.
don't have time to tell the doctor
Right,
that you
right.
didn't die from a tree. And he's like, also your injuries are probably going to clearly show you got smashed by a tree.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. I'll say it was a car.
Yeah.
I'll say a car hit me, dude. Like I
That's
was
so good.
dying. It was so funny. Like when I heard like that, I'm not going to tell the doctor I died from a tree. I'm not
Right.
going to tell him that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
too funny.
that was a lot
Oh,
of
that's
fun. But
excellent.
yeah, no, it's been good times over here. Just yeah, just chilling. And Alicia was out of town for a while, which is but I guess that gets back to why we haven't done the show in a couple
Yeah.
weeks because Eric had a big thing going on 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and then Alicia had to literally escape from LA. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Ahead of the hurricane that hit there
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago. So she had to get a weird ass flight out of there to get home. And then when she got back, like all her stuff was crazy. So then I
Yeah.
couldn't do the show that week.
Yeah.
And then there was a hurricane, and you guys are very fortunate. You know
Yeah,
what
oh,
I'm saying?
yeah,
That we
that
didn't get
we
hit
have
very hard. Or
power
that
and
would have been
everything,
week
yeah.
3. You know what I mean? Because that could have been really bad.
Yeah.
But that's been me, man. What's been up with you?
Oh, man, I've been on this movie kick lately. I don't know why.
I see you've been texting me and Father Press about all these movies.
I
I'm like,
forgot
what are you doing?
Oh, I
Your
forgot
boy
to
don't
add
watch
that to the
movies.
list. Yeah.
What's up with that?
So, yeah, I finally watched a bunch of stuff. Some of it I've seen before, but it's been a while. But then there was other things where I was like, oh, yeah, Ryan and Preston told me I need to watch this. I need to watch this finally. And I think it was The Fifth Element was one I thought about that.
Yeah.
I might get that mixed up with what's the other one? The Event Horizon. That's another one. Do you like that movie?
I adore Event
Okay, then that's
Horizon.
that I get those two mixed up with what I think you love. I forget which
okay,
one.
good. Oh, okay. But because you will not confuse those two movies when you see
No,
them,
but
like by any means.
I think just because they're well, Fifth Element's got a lot of sci-fi in it, so I was thinking that there was something correlation there. But yeah,
Oh man,
so
Event Horizon. If you haven't seen that,
yeah,
that
I
needs to be
need
on
to.
the menu.
That's on the list. But
We
the
like Chef Special, just that movie.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like it'd be like, all right, Event Horizon. Let's
that
talk
might
about
be
it.
that would be an interesting thing for Chef Specials to be like totally doing completely unturtle related things, or
Really fast.
Yeah.
Unrelated things. And what? Finish your thought.
I was going to say unrelated things to the turtles, or finding a weird way to tangentially tie it into the turtles and then review. So
that would become a fun challenge where it'd be like, okay, like if you guys want to do this like movie thing, or you want to do whatever on a Chef Special, if you want to make that a segment, then you've got to find a way to relate it to the turtles.
right,
Man.
like if the
That'd be
lighting
pretty
guy on the third movie, on movie 3,
Oh.
was the lighting guy on Event
Wow.
Horizon. So we're gonna review. Yeah, that would be really wild. But anyway,
Oh my god.
so what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Event Horizon is particularly cool because it borrows a lot, even though the screenwriter kind of like didn't acknowledge it. It borrows a ton from 40K.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
idea that like so Event Horizon, the whole idea is that a ship that was designed to go through basically like a wormhole in space. Like it creates a way to jump, basically like warp jumping.
Yeah.
they kind of explain it as like in the movie. There's an explanation of like, the guy has a poster and he's like, okay, the distance between this end and this end is the length of the poster. He's like, what if you bent it and takes like a pencil and puts it through the end.
Right.
He's like, so you could do that. I don't know why I have a screwdriver, but
I don't either. But there you go.
home defense. You know what I mean? Take it from my cold dead. Take it from my cold dead hands.
Right. I won't let no tree kill me in my own house.
Oh yeah. Don't tread on me, but also love the cops.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it reappears like a decade later. Like it went missing when it did its jump. It disappeared.
Yeah.
And like never came back.
Yeah.
And a decade later they find it. And it's like all messed up because it went through hell. But
don't tell me anymore. Don't tell me anymore.
No, you'll get that eerie feeling when you walk on. You're like, where was this thing for a decade or whatever?
Yeah.
That's basically traveling through the warp in 40K. Like the same kind of stuff that happens on that ship could happen there.
Oh, okay.
And it's so good.
Man.
You would love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
and
to watch
also
it.
there's a Latin quote in there that is the name of an album by some band you like or a song by some band you like.
Oh.
So remember you quoting it to me.
Oh, it's probably from Zao. Liberate te ex inferis.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Save yourself from hell.
That's like in that movie. Yep.
Yeah. Woo! Off the dome.
Anyway.
So let's see. Let me run down the list real quick because all these stories kind of tie into each other. So we watched The Cable Guy, which I hadn't seen. I saw it in the theaters, I remember, but it's been ages, and that was wild.
The Cable Guy, yep.
Yeah, and then we watched Surf Ninjas, which has your boy Ernie Reyes Jr. in it, which also has oh my god, who was Deuce Bigelow? What's the
Rob
actor's?
Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Yeah, he's in that, playing a high school kid, which is very strange. And oddly, delightfully, horribly like cheesy movie fun. And Leslie Nielsen's the bad guy in that. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
So then we watched Back to the Beach. Have you ever seen this movie?
I have not. I've seen Surf Ninjas, but I've not seen Back to the Beach.
Apparently, I was in a surf thing, Ryan, and I'd seen this movie as a kid. And then our buddy Craig on Facebook, he had posted about this, and a while back, I think when Paul Rubens died, because Paul Rubens is in this movie. It's about, I'm gonna get their names wrong, but I think it's Frankie Annette Furnicelli. So I don't know, some of these old singers that were in like a lot of the beach movies in the 50s, 60s and whatnot. Yeah. Two of the bigger ones, they end up like, they make a movie that's like kind of paying homage to all those old movies. And they get married in the movie and they have kids. One of their kids just happens to be Aunt Becky. I can't think of her name right now. But Lori Loughlin. That's it. Yeah. And
watch out for her nowadays.
Criminal. It's amazing. It also has Don Adams in it. He comes in there playing a character and makes all these smart. I love
Don Adams.
He makes all these get smart references, and I'm like, oh my god. Shannon's like Shannon, my wife. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, it's Don Adams. So now I'm gonna have to go get smart and watch all those. But it was amazing, and Shannon and I were both watching it. We're like, this movie is better than it should have been. So.
It's got like Frankie Avalon in it and stuff.
Yes.
Dick Dale's in it. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, Dick Dale's in this. Yeah, they play in it a lot, and it's a fun movie. It's a fun, like, a little slightly better than TV made for TV movie, slightly better, and than it should be, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy the hell out of it, so much so that I'm gonna have to probably own it. It's another one of my favorite movies. Just so happens to have Lori Loughlin in it, which
David Bowie's in that movie.
I
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I couldn't find Bowie.
Fishbone is in it.
Fishbone is definitely
not seen.
Oh shit, dude! They do a song. Shannon tells me, she's like, no wonder this was your favorite movie, because they the lady Annette whatever her name is, she sings a song called "Do the Ska," the Jamaican ska, and Fishbone's playing in there, and it's the whole song, and I'm like, oh. I didn't even remember that, and I love ska to death. So, like, yeah,
that's sick. Yeah,
it's wild. So we enjoyed the hell out of that, and then
I'm sure.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, Back to the Beach, check it out. It's a lot of fun. Their son is like this weird rebel kid that's got all these like quips, and it's hilarious. Well, not hilarious, but it's just fun. It's just a fun movie. Anyway, then I was like, you know what else I hadn't seen in a while? Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And I was like, our buddy Robbie James would be proud of me. I need to watch these.
Man.
And so I watched them, and I loved them. I thought they were great. I still, I don't know. There's a weirdness about them that I appreciate. But I kind of just, they felt different than I think that they should feel like. Each time I watch them, I feel like they should be something else than what they are. I think what it is that I think Slimer and some of the ghosts should have had more of a presence in them, but they didn't.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
But yeah, we watched Ghostbusters 1 at we were probably marathoning something, and then that was the next movie, and it's 12:30 at night. My phone rings, Ryan.
Oh man.
My phone rings. And it's my mom. And I'm like, "Oh, if your parents call you at 12:30 in the morning, never a good thing. Good. Never a good. Nope. Hey, guess what? It's not. There's not a happy thing on the other end.
So I was just thinking about this thing. You're like, what?
No, never. So so it's my mom, and my mom's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Watching Ghostbusters 1. What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we called an ambulance, and your dad's in a lot of pain." And I hear my dad in the background.
No,
all hurting and stuff,
David.
And I'm dying because I'm horrible. I react the opposite of how I'm supposed to in every situation. So she's like, "All right." So me and Shane and my wife, we get dressed and whatever, and we go over to the house. And she called the ambulance, and Dad's having a lot of pain in where his kidneys are, and they're thinking it's a kidney stone, or he thinks it is.
Yeah.
And he's had them before and had surgery and everything. And but Dad's not really one to be he's not really a wuss. He's like, "Oh yeah, just cut my finger off. Just if I hold it here for a few minutes, it'll be fine."
Yeah.
Kind of real man kind of stuff. And but he's in agony, and I'm cracking jokes, and I'm just saying, "Dad, Shannon's all worried," which I understand, and you should be. That's the natural thing. That's the right thing to be, is what my wife was.
Yeah.
I am not the right thing, but I was able to stay calm. I was able to stay cool and just keep it serious to the extent of asking questions. So I was like, "Dad," Mom was out of the room. She was talking to the ambulance because they had just pulled up, and I was like, "Dad, is there anything in your pockets you don't want them to find?" And he's like, "Oh, good idea." So he starts reaching in his pockets. Ryan, he pulls out a whole tomato. A whole tomato.
No,
just a whole.
No,
he didn't pull out the tomato.
That would be so good. That'd be so. Well, I found this tomato, but I don't want them to find it.
But I don't want him to find it. Look how big it is. I was like, "How'd you get that out of your pocket?" No, but
seriously.
Yeah, he just pulled out a big knife, and I said, "You call that a knife?" No, I didn't do that. That would have been great. But anyway,
you're me for loops everywhere here.
Tomatoes, knives. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on. But
I don't know what's going on.
But he was wearing a camo shirt, and he walked outside as pitch black. I was like, "Dad, don't fall. We ain't gonna be able to find you. We'll have to look for the find the moans."
Good. Well, you can hear him.
You can hear him definitely. So anyway, we get to the hospital, and I'm looking around, and Ryan, it just catches my eye. Stroke happens. It's still up there.
Again?
Oh, it's still up there from the last time that I saw it and I talked about it on the show.
That was years ago. Yeah, wow. Years and years ago.
Stroke happens. I was so happy that it was still there.
Bring it back.
Because I hit Mom. I'm like, Mom, stroke happens. And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's shit happens, but stroke." And it's like,
yeah.
She's like, "Oh, okay." It was so
That's
funny.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So anyway, but turns out my dad had a kidney stone, and they ended up cutting it out because it was too big. But they put something in his wiener, and they said that I don't know. A lot of wiener jokes happened, and it was a lot of fun. But he's fine now. But speaking of my dad, this is the last of my personal garbage for those that are waiting us to talk about turtles.
Actual turtle tip.
Actual turtle talk. So my dad, who is married to my mom, who both of them spent their money when they were in their 20s and 30s buying me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures.
Yes.
How you like that? Tying it together.
So
bring it back. So they have kittens at their house, and the mom they got the mom fixed finally, but she couldn't be near the kids, but they wanted to get the kittens. And so Shannon, my wife, and I, we went over there and tried to get them. Well, it was hot as hell because we live in Florida, so the sun's just die, And so I was like, okay,
it's hard to be a vampire's twin.
It does. It definitely does. And so my wife is trying to, she's out there trying to get those kittens and just in the sun. So I was like, "Dad, you got an umbrella that I can or something that I could use to like shade my wife while she's doing this. And
my
so
God.
so my dad's like, yeah, it's in the back of the truck. So I go in the back of the truck, and my dad's got a lot of airsoft guns, like but the ones that look like stuff from like video games and stuff. It's insane.
Yeah,
like,
the stuff's gonna get you shot if you get pulled over.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just no, you don't want to get pulled over with those. And so he's got them all in the racks in the back of his truck and all this stuff. And so I'm like, okay, and then tools, all this like just manly stuff. And I find an umbrella. I'm like, oh, cool. So I see the handle of it, and I'm like, okay. So I pull it out, and I'm like, oh, it's red, white, and blue. Okay, that's fine. That whatever.
Yeah, that checks.
That's fine.
Yep.
So I take it out of its holster. And I'm laughing because it's an American flag. Why does he have this? I open it, and it goes boom, and it goes inside out. So the stuff, the arms go up, and I just see Estee Lauder across it, and I'm like, Dad, what the hell is this doing?
Estee Lauder umbrella.
What the hell is this doing in the back of your truck? Like, why is this? I was beside myself, just dying over on the Chuckle Bus. Just Estee Lauder, and Dad's just like, what? I don't get it. I'm like, Dad, no, that's
like a whole different thing.
Whole different thing. These things do not go together. And yeah, that just killed me. So anyway,
there was an era, I think it might have been a few years ago, where like Estee Lauder had an ad, or somebody had an ad about Estee Lauder stuff on the Rays games for like an entire season. So it's like most of a year I'm watching the Rays. It's like, oh, and get a free Estee Lauder gift pack. Oh, get a free Estee Lauder gift pack. Like it just kept drilling into my mind.
Right.
So it used to annoy me so much that I just like, it'd be my answer to everything.
Oh,
and it annoyed Alicia a lot. But like, she'd be like, hey babe, I was thinking about for dinner. I'm like, well, I mean, Estee Lauder gift bag. Like, it'd be like, if you gave me a Gap, like it must have been during the pandemic, because I'd be like, Estee Lauder gift bag.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, you can stop that. So I said Estee Lauder like 100 million times. I heard it a million times.
Oh yeah, no.
And now Estee Lauder doesn't mean anything to me,
right?
Like anymore.
Yeah, no, it's lost
like
all value.
It just means it's just the word of chaos. Like I don't understand what it is.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Your dad, the Estee Lauder umbrella. That's pretty great.
That just killed me, dude.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, it was so good. He was in the back when they finally let us back there. Once he got a little room, I grabbed like a little chalkboard or a clipboard, and I'm like, Dad, it says here you checked off the optional catheter, extra large. Like, is that what you wanted? He's like, like trying not to laugh and trying not to be. He's like, oh, why are you doing this to me?
Dude, was he already catheterized at that point?
No, he hadn't been.
Let me tell you something. When I went to the hospital with that kidney thing, from the swine flu situation, they catheterized me without my consent.
Oh,
dude,
jeez.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I was in the triage in the ER.
Yeah.
And this girl comes in and she's got all this shit. She goes, this is a catheter. And I go, she goes, hey, look. And she literally said, she's like, we don't have time for this.
Oh.
Like, because I had this look on my face, like, no, because I just never been catheterized.
Oh.
She straight up said, like, we don't have any time for this. It's gonna burn, then it's not.
Oh.
And that's all she said. She literally started prepping me as she's saying that.
Yeah.
She's like, it's gonna burn and it's gonna suck, then it's gonna go away and it's gonna feel like nothing.
There's a version of you that's past this, is what she said.
Basically,
yeah.
And I tell you something, with how sick I was, everything like that, I remember looking at Alicia after she had put it in, and like the thing is, it burns all the way down because it's got alcohol.
Yeah.
Like it's sterilized.
Right.
So it burns from like all the way down your dick.
Yeah.
And that plus everything else, I looked at Alicia and I was like, this is the lowest I've been. I'm like, I want to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was like, I don't know if I've ever felt that bad since. I was like, I got to be honest, like, literally want to die.
Jesus.
Now. Like, then it went away.
Then it went away.
Like anything.
Well, I just made the joke about how one of your sayings was always like, there's a version of you that's past this. I actually told Dad. I was like, Dad, your boy Ryan, he has this thing. So let me tell you. So he says that there's a version of you that's past this. I was like, you're in the best place you need to be for this situation. And there's a version of you that has a catheter already in there.
Yep.
And it's going to burn, but it doesn't burn.
It's whatever.
Yeah. And you're fine.
Yeah. So, no, dude.
And that seemed to help a little bit.
We make fun of that and stuff. I know
I love it.
Does, but like,
I love it.
I use it all the time.
I do too.
Like, I still use it.
I do too.
Like,
It's great.
I'm like, there's a version of me that's past this, like something I'm not looking forward to or something I'm dreading. Like, you know what? There's a you on the other side.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's a better way to say that.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, there's a you past this thing, man.
Mm-hmm. No,
And he's just chilling.
I totally use that all the time. I love it. I thought that was a great thing, Ryanism. And so yeah,
Oh, it's a Ryanism.
a Ryanism. All right, so that's all the personal garbage. So thank you guys for listening.
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
caught back
absolutely. No, Eric and I haven't caught up with each other in a little
Exactly.
bit. All right, so getting on to we have an email we're going to read. Now we are in receipt of 2 other emails. Robbie James and Jono both wrote emails. They are both awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They, however, are both subjects could be subjects for a chef special. We're going to save those for a mailbag there where we can stretch out and spend a little more time on them.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. Yeah, they're both really good, and it's funny. They're both Robbie James' email. Just as a little bit of a teaser for you guys.
Ooh.
Robbie James' email actually gets into some Turtle Soup show lore.
Oh goodness,
Very
I'm all about
interesting.
that.
Like that kicks up some of our old lore stuff. So there's that. And then Jono's email is about music and the Turtles, and it's really, really good. Both of which are going to be deep dove in another time.
Right.
We do have an email that we are going to read. That's rather brief. Come on, email. Come on, Boots.
Come on, Boots. Come on, feet.
I have so many jokes around us listening to like making old country references.
Oh yeah.
That I gave to Brad like when we were hanging out listening to like 90s country. I was like, all right, man, like here's these stories, so like cherish them. And one was like when you literally just out of nowhere one time, you were trying to get like something like plug your guitar in or do something.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, Boots. And I lost my shit because well, both of the things I'm going to mention were like hilarious to me because they were so unexpected and random.
Yeah.
And it's not like you really said these things before.
Right.
So it was out of nowhere. So it was that one. So that killed me. Like, come on, Boots. And I'm like, oh my God. Then the next one was when we were doing something. And you might remember more of this, maybe more particulars help polish the story. We were doing something in your house.
Okay.
And you like tripped or fell or something. Like you at least got down. You hit your knees. Like you tripped over something. And you in the middle of like, because it hurt.
Yeah.
You said, I should have been a cowboy.
Oh.
And I literally left my body when you did that shit. Because you fell, and I remember you being like, somewhere like amongst like the drum gear. Like you tripped on the cymbal like gear or something on one of the legs of the cymbal stand, and you hit the ground. And you're like, I expected like, I expected you to like, son of a bitch, or anything like that. You're like, I should have been a cowboy, and I lost it. And then after that, after I got done like being able to I could breathe again.
Yeah.
We started joking about how what if you said that to everything? What if you were like anything? It's like well, about be April, taxes are due. Damn, I should have been a cowboy. Like about everything. But when you hit the ground, I should have been a cowboy, dude. Once again, because it had no relation to anything we were talking about.
Yeah, no.
Like
That's
it was just
amazing.
random. Anyway,
I love that.
Those are two of my favorite Ericisms.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So this email is from unsigned.
Yeah.
The Tale of the Unknown email.
Yes.
From someone named Marvel Comics Universe Talk.
Yes.
That's what Gmail says your name is.
Right.
And it goes a little something like this. Greetings, Turtletarians. I'm a longtime listener, but I'll be very, very honest. I have sometimes gone a year or so and then play catch up on the podcast until it's just the way, until it's, whatever. It's just the way I do with podcasts, honestly, which is fine.
That's fine. I get it.
I do that.
I totally get it.
But anyhow, as you guys are beginning to approach the 2000s, I was wondering if you had any intention of covering Kevin Eastman's TMNT autobiography. See what he did there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
great.
Autobiography.
Like instead of auto, it's auto.
Yep. Ardo. This book was originally released in 2002 through Heavy Metal after Kevin had bought the imprint. It's really the first time I think either Kevin or Peter really self-chronicled anything regarding the TMNT. This isn't a documentary or interview. These are Kevin's unadulterated thoughts on his art and style during his and Peter's run on TMNT before things between them soured. Another thing to note is Kevin has sold the majority, or had sold the majority of his TMNT shares to Peter at this time, retaining only slight shares, which is probably why he was allowed to ever even release a product like this. While it's mostly an art book, Kevin does break down the art quite a bit. In any case, I believe to be a quintessential read for TMNT fans, and I'm hoping you guys take some time to cover it on the show. I originally bought the book when it was released in 2002, but after IDW acquired their rights to TMNT, they reprinted it in 2013 with new cover art, and I bought it again.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've gushed about the book long enough. I just want to tell you that I love this podcast, have since 2013 when I first discovered it.
Oh, wow.
That's early.
That's early.
Bro, 2013 is early. We were still on the Mirage stuff then, I think. Like, the classic 10, the first 10. I mean, we were still in that run. Also, live in Tampa. So when you guys talk about your journeys throughout the city and its surrounding towns, it's fun to recognize places you're talking about. Adds an extra layer of cheese to this pizza you guys are cooking. Else time.
That's amazing.
And then and then they include pictures of the autobiography and the re-released autobiography. Which you could definitely tell the IDW version because it has the IDW masthead on top.
Oh, okay.
As well as updated art that reflects more of like Kevin's style now.
Right.
I believe that's Kevin's work.
I wonder if they put anything
new now.
I wonder if they put anything new in it. I would imagine they would. Like probably like a forward or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I've seen it. I've seen the art. I've seen the book itself places. I just never picked it up. But that sounds like something we could do. If anything, we could put it in a. I mean, we haven't gotten there in the chronologically in the journey, but like we could put it in a Bag of Tricks episode, if we wanted to. But
yeah, we could. Maybe in 2002. I guess we would have to kind of like figure it out because I mean, if you wanted to be a stickler, you could say it wasn't an official TMNT release until
IDW?
Until 2013.
Oh.
When it was re-released by IDW.
That's
although
true.
Hold on a minute now. Mirage licensing website. Hold on.
Does it have it on there?
Yes.
That face.
Mirage licensing's website has the Kevin Eastman's TMNT Autobiology, published by Heavy Metal, first printing 2002, pages 294. Kevin Eastman's in-depth, fully illustrated book that tells the tale of how the original TMNT comics were put together. Essential reading for TMNT comic book aficionados.
Oh, that sounds like us.
So Mirage recognizes the 2002 release, which means it's probably authorized for us to review in 2002 when it came out.
Arterized.
So that wasn't on the menu.
That was not.
But thanks for letting us know about it because I didn't know.
Yeah. And seriously, like if there's anything else that we haven't done, we've got a couple of things in the chef special, or not chef special. I keep saying that. The Danny's Bag of Tricks.
Bag of Tricks files.
We got a couple of things in there still to do. But if there's anything else that y'all know of or want us to talk about, definitely let us know. Like things like this especially. And like because we gotta get once we get through with the proper 90s. We're gonna do the I just said the word Bag of Tricks. We're gonna do the Bag of Tricks episodes to get us completely or as best as we can out of the 90s.
Exactly. And then we talked about doing some kind of special for the year 2000 because like almost nothing came out or nothing new came out.
Yeah.
Because that's a big step.
It is. But one thing I definitely am so excited about to do once we get there, which is going to be a Bag of Tricks episode, is the cereal, the Turtles cereal. Because I was thinking before we started doing, I think it was in the 290s when we were trying to get the game plan. I was like, we could just do the cereal. Like we could just talk about that on like an episode real quick. And then I started looking into it and oh my goodness, I've talked about it on the show before, but still much stuff.
Like a crazy story.
So it's going to be its own 100% episode, that the cereal stuff, and I'm excited about it. But yeah,
I wanted to mention.
Yeah,
I wanted to mention this. This is important. This happened while we weren't talking.
Oh,
you ready?
Yeah.
I bought all the boys from the new movie. In the little
you got
Target exclusive ooze van.
You got the van?
I bought them all.
Oh, that's awesome. Which
the van box.
Yeah, did that have April in it?
Yep.
Did you
April the boys and Bebop.
Oh, that's cool. Did you get the light skinned April or the dark skinned April?
You know what's funny? So I looked at all the ones that were there.
Yeah.
You know, because your boy, you
Oh,
taught me
yeah.
well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
EC,
you know.
you know what I mean? Like, he taught me how to look at the shit and
Yeah.
not choose the worst painted model in the group.
Right.
So I was looking through it and I didn't see anything wild with her skin color.
Mm-hmm.
I saw maybe some shade difference,
Okay.
but I'm talking a shade or two.
Yeah.
Like nothing too far off. And then I saw Jeremy DeWitt's post where it was like, I think it was Jeremy DeWitt.
Yeah.
If I'm crediting him wrong, then I apologize. But like, that was like wildly different.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And I want to say, God, I hope I'm not. If it was Jeremy, somebody said, yeah, and that's why I'm out. Basically.
Oh, jeez.
Because like I basically said, like I'm not gonna buy these figures until like April looks like April looks in the movie. Like I'm not gonna. Because I think the ones that he was looking for, like the ones that were on offer at his Target, were like none of them were her skin tone.
Oh,
like
okay.
They were everywhere, and I want to say his point was like April's not here.
Yeah.
Like the April from the movie's not here.
Right.
Like she's like way lighter skinned. It looks really weird, and I don't like it. And I was like, oh, damn. And that made me go back and kind of look at mine a little bit because I was like, well, did I get like wrecked? But all mine were roughly the same skin tone.
Okay.
The only thing I noticed is some didn't have glasses.
Interesting.
And I was looking. I mean, I was like in that store underneath those Target lights going like, oh, maybe her glasses fell off her head and they're somewhere else.
Right.
I could not see them in the packaging.
Oh, man.
So actually there was an April that didn't have glasses that, in my opinion, I think it was Leo, had a slightly better paint app.
Yeah.
But I went for April with glasses like guaranteed, confirmed. You know what I'm saying? Like confirmed glasses.
Yes.
With a little bit of a messier L on his belt than
which
the
is
other
fixable
one.
if you needed to.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it real fast.
Oh yeah, go get it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking while you do that. Yeah, the sculpts on those are really good. I like the turtle sculpts. The only other variant I think that has come out is that Raphael has a small, different sizes R's on his belt. And real quick, in the chat, Ben Teaglin's asking about the breakfast cereal. Yes, not the dinner cereal, the breakfast cereal. And
yes, not the dinner cereal.
Google TMNT breakfast cereal and look at all the box variations and all. There's a game on the back of it. Yeah, we're gonna try to play that. It's gonna be a whole thing.
So I'm gonna try to get this in frame.
Okay,
and I know that like the glare on the box and everything is gonna be hard. But try to give you, so bear with me for a second.
Okay.
This is great for you. If you're listening on audio, you're like,
oh, wonderful.
YouTube, I hate you. But but come over here and
hang
subscribe
out.
and then hate us. But I'm gonna try to get it. Okay. I don't know if I can do a lot of talking while I do it.
Okay. That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
So I don't know if you got April.
I see her there. She looks like the darker skin.
Pretty accurate darker skin tone.
Yeah.
To match the April from the series.
The other one that's out is decidedly lighter skin than that.
That's what I'm saying. When I saw what Jeremy was talking about, I was like, I literally never saw that April.
Yeah.
And it was all in the van box. It was all the collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I don't know if I think April may have a separate figure on the card, but okay. I don't know if those exist in those. They probably do. But it's also a great deal.
Yeah.
Because it's like $52. And like the other figures are $11 a piece. And you're like, there's like 6 figures in this box, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. That's pretty legit.
I saw some other guy. I saw like, the problem is the other one seemed like, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, the ones that are $11 also have the baby turtle in it too. Is that what they're coming with on card right now?
Okay, so they have a couple of variations. So they have the single turtles that are just probably less than $10. They might be like 7, 8, or 9. Then they have the base turtles with the turtles you're talking about, which were the adolescent turtles, I guess, and then the pre-mutated, like the actual, a little animal turtle figure. There's like a 3-pack, I guess you'd call it, and those are one, two, and then they have the box that you have, and
So is the making of a ninja, is that the exclusive Target stuff? Because it says the making of a ninja only at Target.
That's probably
it's on the logo of the box here. But I also noticed it was on the card that had just that had the turtle and the baby turtle.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It's really
Yeah.
weird. Anyway,
I would think the baby turtles one would be the one with that saying on it, because it's the turtle becoming a ninja.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I've seen the 4 adolescent turtles in 2 packs before. When they first came out. So yeah, they've got a variation of these out there, and I'm excited for you because like those are really cool sculpts. I would buy them if money wasn't a thing. I would totally get them.
Yeah. No, dude, the sculpts really impressed me.
Yeah.
And that's why I got them, because I thought they looked really true to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they are sculpted with a lot of cool detail that you can totally like recess shade on these boys.
Yeah.
Like Raph's got a lot of really good battle damage on the front of his shell that like you could absolutely like use some Tamiya panel liner in and like make that happen. But I was really impressed with them.
That's awesome.
And and like also like Bebop's a chunky boy. I kind of want to break him out and get him in hand because he seems like he'd be hefty.
Oh yeah,
like
they do. The other figures,
sculpt.
The other figures look good too. Yeah, the sculpts look good. I just don't like the design of a lot of the other ones. And
like I saw Leatherhead, and I didn't love the paint job. But there was only one copy of her there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I want more copies to like
to
check against.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, guys. I mean, like this is the first set of the brothers I've bought since the 2012 cartoon.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? Like 11 years.
I got I have the Rise figures. I think that was the last of the 4 in the sense of like non-adult collectible turtles that I got. Yeah. So
yeah, but I'm in. I figured. Look, I love the movie. It was really good, and we talked about how it had some problems, but in general, I like to support it. And I saw the van, and I was like, dude,
yeah. So that's a great deal. That's awesome. What I'm saying? And
yeah, so if you guys have access to that one, go check your Target out. You know, I can tell you that it's quality, at least on my end. I really like the way it looks, personally. Yeah. So that's my turtle.
There you go. Boys. Well, speaking of things that we like the way it looks, we like the way.
I like the way you look it.
No diggity.
Dr. Queasy.
I got to queeze it up. Queeze it up.
Milk you up. Milk you up.
Gonna milk it all. Put a milk in a bag. John Clemens, y'all have milk in a bag still up there? Let us know. Chat.
Oh shit.
Yeah. turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. Let us know if you got milk in a bag.
That Beck was singing about a can of whiskey on that Loser single, and I was like, blew my mind for a minute. I still think about
a can of
just
whiskey.
A can of whiskey. I don't know why, because like that's like quintessential Beck lyrics.
Oh yeah,
like back in the day, Beck lyrics were just like name something that's like a little off.
Yeah,
like say something that makes someone go what?
Yeah.
Man. Okay, if you have like Spotify Apple Music, I'm dead ass about the Loser single.
Okay,
the Loser single is so good.
Yeah,
because you get Loser and you're like, all right, like I've heard that song a million times.
Right.
Every other track is like some deep, dark, weird ass Beck shit. It's so good.
That's awesome.
And none of it sounds like Loser. It all sounds weird as hell. There's a song called Fume.
Yeah.
Where it's just about him and like his friends getting a bottle of nitrous and like basically getting in the truck and hotboxing nitrous.
Jesus.
But like he has some effect on his voice that makes it sound like really low.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Oh, that's so good.
Corvette Bummer is a great instrumental. Yeah, anyway.
Oh my goodness.
If you want to jump literally into like my life in like 1996.
Yeah.
I just listened to the Loser single on repeat. So if you put that on repeat for a night, you'd be like, literally, I'm like in Ryan's like garage converted bedroom. Like
that's what's going on.
There's like cokes everywhere. And like someone's
fire.
peeing out the side door and there's a fire. And Shane said there's a situation in Ryan's room. And like it's all right there.
It's all right
all right there.
All wrapped up with that single.
There.
Man.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Enough beating around the bushing.
Yeah. Enough beating around the back. Does that work?
Enough beating around the back. All right. Let me clear my eye holes out.
Get them clear. John Clemens in the chat says confirms bagged milk on my TMNT cereal.
Just get that box, rip that bagged milk, dump it in the box, and just let's go.
Let's go. That's it. Oh, did you snap?
I heard on.
Yeah.
I can't. I just about to say something really bad.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We were talking earlier about stuff we used to get away with. Yeah, no. I'd say that then, but not now.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, yeah. Is there anything I want to say before this starts? My eyes look like super red on camera, but they're not that red in real life.
Oh,
I think I'm high as fuck. That's
it could
weird.
be.
Could be the glasses.
Could be.
This either. Yeah. Weird. Anyway.
Oh.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles Next Mutation. We are back in the year of our Lord, 1997, November 17th to be exact,
Goodness.
covering episode 10 of Ninja Turtles Next Mutation entitled Meet Dr. Queez.
Meet Dr. Queez.
Which I gotta admit, like earlier, like when I was reviewing this, like I was a little queasy, weirdly. Like right before lunch, like I think I waited too long to eat. And I was feeling queasy, and I saw the episode was called Meet Dr. Queez, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be awful for me to enjoy. And I ate lunch, and then felt better.
Oh, there you go. Interesting.
So then I was able to deal with Dr. Queez, even though his appearance does unsettle the stomach.
It's a little unsettling, a little bit.
Anyway. It's funny. I don't think this really episode needs much of us. So basically, because we've been dealing with a lot of like bottle plots.
We have.
Ever since East meets West got done with, and the Dragon Lord like got sent back to his Hammer Castle warehouse in Manhattan with his tail, dragon tail between his legs.
Yep.
He hasn't been around, and we've had a lot of like singular villain introduction bottle episodes.
Yeah.
So this is one that is a little interesting. You know what I'm saying? And kind of wraps us all together.
It does.
So are you ready to go?
I am.
Are you ready to meet Dr. Queez?
I am so excited. I can't wait.
Okay.
I can't.
So we open up. Oh, I can't wait for Dr. Queez. Dude, that guy has to be like, anyway, we'll talk about him when he shows up.
Okay.
So the episode opens up with your boy, Dr. Cornelius Queez. You know what I'm saying? You see this thing, which looks like, I don't know what that building is.
It looks like the Epcot ball, like the giant Epcot ball, but with like other tiny lights all around it on the outside. But just like in a
what
factory.
That's supposed to. Yeah.
I guess that's where they're having this meeting at, where we see him.
It's some kind of observatory or something. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
I don't know.
So we pop straight into the beginning of Dr. Cornelius Queez's lecture on advanced mutation and the new utopia. When someone says new utopia, you go the other way.
You leave.
Like
you just get out.
That's going to end in a cup of Kool-Aid that ain't good for you, or you being dragged away with the others in the night. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all there is to it.
Or at the very least, going to be something that you're just not going to want to be a part of. Just in general.
100%. Yeah. 100%. You come into the night rally, and you've been to rallies at night before. You come into the night rally. But when the guy says, "Are you coming to the night rally?" it all clicks in.
Right.
Like you're like, oh, this is some fascist shit. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's exactly where you find yourself. But this is early times. Mm-hmm. And the reason that I bring up a cult or some kind of awful thing is because you notice the kids in the audience are all wearing these ochre colored robes.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching this going like, okay, like, so Dr. Cornelius Queez like has a dead ass cult though.
Yeah.
Like there's almost no way this isn't explained, and I'm going to learn what this is about later.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously. Of course, they're not going to just put this out there.
So we do see that while he's ranting on and on, he's talking about how he's only here because he needs money for research or whatever. He's putting a lecture on. We do notice that Donnie and Mike are attending. They are in the crowd. They're up high somewhere. Mikey's got his popcorn. I guess he was promised a good time.
Right.
But this guy's crazy and boring, which is hard to be.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time. And Donnie's like, just shut up. This man's a genius. And you become like pretty aware pretty quickly that Donnie really idolizes Dr. Queez.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting. He's really one of his fiercest defenders. So we cut back, and some smart aleck kid in his ochre robe decides to ask a question.
Yeah.
And he basically says, do you think the government's lying about aliens and UFOs? And Dr. Queez is like, no, that's a lie. Like UFOs are dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love he calls him Pinhead.
He does.
Like,
he does.
That is funny. That's a phrase you used to be able to throw around, which now you can't. You know what I mean? So he says that, and then the kid's like all bummed. He's, "Are you kidding me?" Then he's like, "Oh, well, I heard you were kicked out of the National Science Academy," and he's like, "No, I retired from there. They're stupid, and I don't like them." And you're like, "Oh, okay,
Right? Yeah.
So we lay the groundwork for like this guy's. I mean, you don't need to know much more than to look at him. I don't know if those implants are like regulated or like cool to have.
Yeah, no.
Which is where we get into the implants, because Dr. Cornelius Quees has implants at his temples that connect his brain to the interwebs.
Yeah.
Donnie is tired of this kid cutting around on him. You know what I'm saying? This Dennis the Menace down here in his ochre robe, running that I'm gonna make fun of you plan. So he emails Dr. Quees directly to his mind.
Yes. That's so good. And he says as much.
Yes.
He's I'm going to email him to his mind.
Literally come up on Dr. Quees's which I mean, look how scary he looks.
It's terrifying.
That's just wild. That was me the other night peering into the darkness, waiting for Adelia to like slap my house down. I was like, you dumbass. And that text on the eyeball is like the 11 o'clock advisory from Noah. I'm like look at that shit. So he emails him directly to his brain. He reads it on his eyeball. And Donnie asks a question about intelligent mutation, which happens to be exactly what Dr. Quees's whole lecture is going to be about. So Dr. Quees is like, "Oh, finally, someone who's not a moron." Right. Actually, this is my idea. Now, a disco ball comes out of the ground.
Yes.
Dr. Quees seems to think he doesn't. Hold on. Sorry, I'm allergic to lasers. So Dr. Quees doesn't seem. No one knows. What this thing is.
Yeah. No.
And it's also never explained. But it pops out of the floor.
Yeah.
The kids in the ochre robes are like, "I thought the Pink Floyd laser light show from the 90s was tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today." You remember that? The laser light shows? You remember that? Like vaguely. People go to like music themes, like Led Zeppelin laser show.
We were watching
Pink Floyd laser show.
I think it wasn't that 70s show, was it? Or there was something that was referencing that a TV show we watched that talked about that kind of stuff. But
oh, really? Like I was talking about they were doing those in the 90s. I don't remember them.
Maybe it was a 90s show.
They could have done them in the 70s. Oh, it could have been that 90s show.
It could have been that 90s show. That's probably what I'm getting.
Because that was a big thing. Like over at Mosey.
Yeah.
The laser light shows were a big deal. And I remember like having like weirdly like multiple girlfriends who like almost got me to go to one, but I didn't. This happened like for years.
Yeah.
Like I have like this girl I dated in 10th grade. It's like, "Oh my God, like the Led Zeppelin like laser light show is like coming to Mosey. We got to go see it." And I'm like, "I'd rather die." So I found a way to like get around it. And then it was so weird. It was like the next year I'm in like a junior and I'm dating this girl. And she's like, "Oh my God, did you hear that the Pink Floyd like laser light show's coming to Mosey?" And I'm like, "I'd rather die." Right. And I was like, "Oh, well, that sounds great, babe, but actually, I'm dead." Blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like that. And I got out of it again. So I never went to one, even though everyone went to them.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone's bringing the laser light show directly to the whatever, like Rocky Horror Amphitheater, wherever the hell they are.
Right.
And no one knows about this thing, except that it is piloted or accompanied by 2 rank soldiers who we have not seen the rank since the Dizzy. So the turtles instantly recognize it. They're like, "The rank, oh shit." And they use a laser on the disco ball. I believe it was the Pink Floyd Time laser from that part of the show. My girlfriend was there, but I wasn't. And she saw it shoot Dr. Quees directly in his abdomen, incapacitating him long enough for the rank to grab him, have him come awake and go, "What?" And then pull him away.
And then in here, you can see the green Kool-Aid right there on screen.
That was probably damn close to actually happening for all those nerds. Yes. So kind of glad that like they stopped that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say for all those nerds?
Yep. And actually looking back, like, okay, this is weird. Looking back, doesn't like the way that Dr. Quees's clothes look there, doesn't that remind you of Heaven's Gate?
A little bit. Yeah.
You know that they wore those like gray, like scrubs or whatever they were. Like, and they had the new tennis shoes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are younger than to remember Heaven's Gate, just Google that.
Yeah.
That was a wild thing from the 90s. That
Mm-hmm.
was crazy.
Yeah. And that could have been
Heaven's Gate
was that
creeped me out.
was that could this have been a reference to that in like some weird loose way? Because
I think Heaven's Gate happened earlier.
well, if it
The
happened
front
earlier,
part,
then that's good, or then that means it
the
could have been. What did he call
hold
this?
on.
Oh, the New Utopia. That's what it was.
Heaven's Gate, 1997
That's the same year.
was when. Oh, I know. I'm trying to look. The event happened March 19th through the 26th, 1997. This
There we
is
have it.
after that.
Yeah, so that has to be it.
How triggering!
Yeah,
How
yeah.
triggering for Heaven's Gate. I was obsessed with Heaven's Gate when it happened.
Yeah.
I was just at the right annoying teenager age. I was
Oh goodness.
obsessed. I bought books about it.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know why it super fascinated me.
Well,
And
Ryan,
it's such a 90s thing.
I've got a
Yes.
book that talks about Heaven's Gate. Also talks about Hell's Flames. If you want to read that, I can send it to you. I didn't have to get my cool uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get new shoes?
Yeah. That'd be hilarious. I think we'd have an increase in baptisms if once you got like saved at a church and you get baptized, they give you brand new shoes.
Well, I mean, that's the iPad Evangelism Challenge.
That would be the iPad Evangelism Challenge.
I mean, let's be honest.
You're right. Oh my goodness, that's a throwback.
Stuffed crust. Anyway,
that's a deep cut.
I remember so we're referencing a song called the iPad Evangelism Challenge by Creeps, the song we did. And I remember that song is so trippy, it lasts forever.
It does.
And I remember when you were doing the vocal take for that song, I was recording you, and it had been all night we were doing vocals. So it was 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you were doing the vocals for that, and I just nodded off. I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
But all of my other senses went away, and it was just the music and your voice through my headphones. And it was it was trippy as shit, dude. I think I was literally psychologically tripping balls at that hour of night. And I remember hearing it being oh man, this is wild, bro. Oh my God, And then it ended. And I remember the song ended and you did your little 24 say thing.
Yeah.
And I remember not wanting to come out of it.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
You go back. Go to Bandcamp. Look up Creeps Anonymous and go back and listen to our old music because it's goddamn hilarious.
It is.
The iPad Evangelism Challenge. Anyway, so and I'm not going to even bring up the fact that he has a purple undershirt, which is the purple cloth is what Heaven's Gate put over their bodies. So
it has to be what this is a reference to. It has to be.
And all the people in the robes.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, has to be.
Yeah. Anyway,
why else?
So weird. Why would they reference that? That's so weird.
Why else are these kids dressed like this?
There's unexplained, dude.
No other reason.
Unexplained. I thought those were going to be his minions at first.
Yeah.
I thought the kid that spoke out and said, "Weren't you kicked out of the academy?" You see that guy who is just shaved bald, looks like he's from like Street Fighter or something.
Oh yeah.
I thought that guy was gonna lead the young man out, go kill him. Shit. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought it was he cracked with the cult.
Yeah.
And they're "Oh, are you questioning great leader?" And they're gonna silence him. "Oh, take him to be re-educated and shit."
Yeah.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But no. And spoiler, guys, they never explain this.
They never explain
because literally Donnie looks like the guy behind Booker T when he used the N-word on wrestling.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's like no, that's what he looks like. He looks like he knew what just happened.
Yeah.
So he is really upset by Dr. Queese's abduction, and then it's bow, 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 now. We're satanic, never panic.
Oh yeah.
And so then we cut to the lair. So in the lair, Leo and Raph are trying to teach Venus how to shoot basketball, and she doesn't know any sports terms. Donnie and Mike arrive and inform everyone about Dr.
You meant bowling, right? You said shoot basketball, but you meant bowling, right?
Oh, was she bowling?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she was.
I think I literally looked. Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that actual moment. Then.
Sorry, I didn't know if you were trying to be funny.
No. So unlike the last 3 or 4 episodes, I did not watch this one twice.
Oh,
I just did it once. Yeah, I literally must have looked down, and honestly, it's really confusing because she's mentioning every other sport.
that's what I
So
thought
she
you might
doesn't
have
know,
got crossed up on too. Was that she
and like,
made a reference to that?
sometimes like this is my first criticism. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I get that she doesn't know the things, but sometimes when that's all she's doing, it's annoying to me at this point.
Yeah.
Like when all the whole like skit is like Venus doesn't know the words or transposes words.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying because I think that humor is a lot funnier when it's like in like a big moment or it's like
Yeah.
something else is going down.
Yeah.
And like later in this episode, she says, "Put metal to the pedal."
Mm-hmm.
Like when they take off
Right.
in their vehicles, their loud ass vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's funny because it's just like besides the point. But
Right.
when the entire thing is like ha ha ha, she doesn't know your American shit.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, it gets old where I'm like, oh Venus, and they're just short of saying it, you dumb woman, almost. And you're like I mean,
yeah.
she's like from another like fucking country, dude. Like she literally like grew up raised by like a man in like a scary ass god beard who just like watched over a artifact mirror all day.
It had a
right
dragon
next to
in it.
had a dragon in it that was like made of like T2 metal that would come out right in front of his weird like 4-post bed. I don't understand why it was in his bedroom or whatever was going on with that.
Yeah, that was weird.
And that's literally the man that like taught her literally everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
She probably doesn't know what police academy is either, guys.
Mm-hmm.
She probably doesn't know, you know what I mean? Like she probably doesn't know how funny Pee Wee Herman is. Like literally,
Right.
she was raised in like by a man who's like, your entire purpose in life is to watch this mirror when I'm dead. That's literally her. And while you're waiting, and to watch the mirror when I'm dead, learn the art of the shinobi.
Yes.
For this very specific purpose.
He didn't teach her bowling.
No. She never made her way to Tokyo and was like wowed by the lights and culture.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
She was like in some like temple somewhere. Okay. So anyway, just to say, yeah, when it's literally about like, it's not how you're bowling. It's the fact that you don't know what to call a strike. You called it a touchdown, a field goal, all these different things. And it's like, okay. Anyway, but it doesn't last that long because Donnie and Mike arrive and inform everyone about Dr. Queese's abduction. And once again, Donnie ran all the way there.
Yes.
And Mikey had to run too. And he's like kind of pissed because he had to run. He's like all out of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So Donnie uses Dr. Queese's implants. I guess because he's got a track on that. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Now, to track the doctor, and he finds out that he is in a very specific section of the Rank's hideout lair, their hammer film warehouse in Manhattan. And he kind of figures out like that he's there. So Leo is the first one to be like, Donnie, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, Donnie, bro, you seem to have a lot on the goddamn line, bud, about this dude.
Yeah, it's
and then
weird.
Mikey's like, oh yeah, and like by the other thing, so the thing about you're wondering what the deal is with like Donnie's crush on Dr. Queese. Dr. Queese is also absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And like he also mentions like in no uncertain words, he was kicked out of every medical organization ever. Which literally all the other turtles and Venus are like, oh, so he's like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's
but
like
but Donnie loves that. Like that's like part of the allure to Donnie.
Donnie, you already kind of see that Donnie has bought in. There's a lot about cult kind of stuff in this episode. And we might just be layering it on, or there might have been a real thing. But there's a lot about Donnie is in the thrall of this scientist. He's like an Elon Musk bro that's like going through it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I gotta admit, I was kind of an Elon Musk fan before he was like an outward piece of shit. And now I'm like, but I had to kind of divorce myself because I was like, man, I was kind of hoping there was like somebody who had like money and like was like putting rockets into space that like wasn't that way.
Yeah.
And it turns out you're wrong.
So,
you know, I feel like you have support groups for like ex-Elon, like Elon fanboys who
there
like,
has to be,
who have like seen the light, kind of be like, okay, now I really can't support him. But like your boy's still in it.
Yeah.
But Mikey's throwing in that word like Donnie's kind of obsessed with a crazy person.
Mm-hmm. A complete wackazoid.
And Donnie kind of pulls the like after school special, like angry denial response. Like he's just like, hey, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
like the man's a genius and we have to help him.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, bro, you care way too much.
Yeah.
And when they're laying that in because it's gonna wind up getting worse.
Oh, it definitely does. Well,
and Mikey calls him a wackazoid.
He calls him a wackazoid.
Gets big, like Saved by the Bell mad about it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then, like we're about to learn a lesson about this.
It's to the point that like if Adult Swim was going to show this series, they would make the bumper like they did with the "I'm so excited."
Oh my god, that was legendary.
Inverted the colors.
That was legendary.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. Not expected. Just
God,
out of
Adult
nowhere.
Swim was so good back in the day.
Oh, it was.
They were so smart about everything. It was so good.
Every once in a while, my wife, Shana, my wife, and I, when we're out and we go on a vacation or whatever, and we stay in a hotel, like that's usually what I put on is just Cartoon Network or Adult Swim or whatever it was. And some of it's still on and some of it's still good. Some of the stuff they keep doing, some of it's a little too weird for me now, but like, or not too weird for me, but it's just.
You watching that Tim and Eric? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, love Tim and Eric.
Check it out.
Oh yeah, and so yeah, there was this one show about
Welcome to Hell. Who gives a shit?
There was this one show about three something, and it was these three women that all had the same name, and it was super absurd and just very weird, but I absolutely loved it. Like I think it was three something Debs. And
weird.
And they were all named Debbie, and I was like super weird. But anyway,
never forget Too Many Cooks.
Oh, Too Many Cooks, fantastic.
Oh, genius.
Well,
sorry.
Well, speaking of cooks, or kooks, if you will, we have one crazy kooky.
That's being a little judgmental about my man Queese now.
It's true.
He's a genius, a humanitarian. He's going to save the whole mutant race, bro.
He's going to save it all. But right now,
you just believe. The problem is you believe in the mainstream media, what they're telling you about Dr. Queese,
right,
about his experiments, and he didn't want to be in those science academies.
He didn't.
They're too small for him.
They're too small for him.
Okay.
Well, he's not.
As long as you put respect on his name.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put a bandana over his eyes, which is what the Dragon Lord has done to your boy.
That's fair.
And yeah, he is in the Dragon Lord's lair, does not know what is going on, because to this point, all of his stuff about mutants and all this other stuff is all theories in his head. So he's in for a very interesting awakening when he sees this face, which is your boy Wick threatening to eat him. And so, yeah, that's interesting. So they disrobe him, but they take off the blindfold and all that. You got your boy, the Dragon Lord here. And once Dr. Queese is out, he's like, okay, cool. Immediately goes to pulling out his retractable tape recorder, which I absolutely loved.
Wrapped in what looks like ducting tape.
Oh, of course.
It's like reflective.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun.
Oh yeah, it's great. And so he's just talking like, just putting his notes like how any doctor or anybody investigating anything would. And it's a neat little quirk that I found interesting. But the Dragon Lord tells Dr. Queese that he is a master of ancient necromancy, and that he himself is, and that Queese has mastered the new magic, Ryan. The new magic. And
like, me with my ancient necromancy, you with whatever that science shit is. And he's like, no, that's not the same.
Yeah.
And Dragon Lord's like, it's the same.
It's totally the same. It is totally the same. And so Queese just, like you said, denies being a mage, and the Dragon Lord doesn't really care what he has to say. Just is like, all right, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll agree to disagree. Yep. Agree to disagree. And so back in the lair, in the turtle lair, Donnie attempts to suck up to each of the turtles and trying to persuade them to help him go and save Dr. Queese, because it's his hero, and no one is interested. He's talking about and right here you see him polishing Leo's sword and stuff and doing all this weird stuff to just try to get something to be on his side. And he's just just hitting them all up, and they all keep saying, nah, bro.
The boys looking to do some stuff for $1 or $2. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
I definitely know, especially right there.
Nobody say anything to him about it lately. You know what I mean? But
text him if you want to save Dr. Queese.
Yeah, but come get yours behind the mall at the same time.
It's up there. It's up there.
Text me if you want your sword polish. You know what I mean? Like at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Good. I know
what
what you're saying
about it to him
lately. But yeah, so Donnie decides that he's gonna have to go and save Dr. Queese on his own.
100%.
And so yeah, your boy's like, I'm coming, Dr. Queese.
I'm coming, Dr.
I'm
Quiz.
coming, Dr. Well, it says Dr. Quiz.
On the translations, he got Dr. Quiz, he got Dr. Queens.
I keep wanting to call him Dr. Queso, but
oh man, Dr. Quiz is pretty good.
Dr. Quiz is pretty good. Dr. Quiz,
medicine woman
yep.
over here.
Yep.
Dr. Quiz medicine woman might just be the episode of this the title of this episode. That's gonna be hard to beat.
Dr. Quiz medicine woman.
Yes.
Okay. God.
Dr. Quinn. Okay.
Yeah.
I make so much fun of like Dr. Quinn medicine woman by putting other things instead of Quinn that I often have to remind myself what the show was originally called.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. But Jane Seymour. Bless.
Oh, and that dude, that rugged guy.
That dude, he had beautiful
that dude
hair.
Was cool.
Oh,
you want to know what's kind of crazy is that dude. So Dr. Quinn, not Dr. Queens, Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, was on in the morning right after Beverly Hills 90210 on UPN.
Yeah.
When I was in when I was afternoon sessions in 10th grade, so I'd wake up at like 10 ass in the afternoon or in the morning.
Yeah.
And Dr. Quinn would be on, and the guy. You know, the guy with the hair?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like her, like, buddy. I was reading the Dark Tower books at that time, and I still see Roland, the main, like, gunslinger character, as a grittier version of him. Like, but in my head, Roland looks like that guy from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Yeah.
But just, like, more haggard.
Interesting.
Like, yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I love that, though. That's super neat. Yeah. Dr. Quiz. So Donnie's going to go save Dr. Quiz. He is just going to go on his own. And yeah, you'd think that he would put his bow staff in his back, but he's got it in his hand as he's climbing the ladder here. And
I hate to interrupt again, but I love how he like sneaks out. Because like, first of all, there's a thing in this episode where people just sleep where they last were hanging out. Like the lair has beds, but like when he's trying to sneak out to like leave, everyone's like on the ground, just like where they lay,
passed out,
like where they last laid.
Oh yeah.
He creeps around, but then he gets to the ladder that's like 2 feet from Raph's head and just screams, "I'm coming, Dr. Quiz."
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It's super weird. It's very strange. Anyway. I didn't know if this was the right image. So your boy Dr. Quiz right here. This is the image I think that we see from the intro. Like this is.
I think it might be. It might be.
And so yeah. So at this point, the Dragon Lord. We cut to him, and he finally reveals his plot to the good doctor. He kidnapped Dr. Queese so that he would lure the turtles in to save him. Somehow the Dragon Lord knew that if he kidnapped a crazy scientist, that the turtles would come and save him. Like that, somehow he knew that. And thus the turtles, getting the turtles captured, and then using their bodies to unearth the secrets of mutation with the doctor's help, which if you are just now joining us, so basically the Dragon Lord is fascinated with the turtles' blood and like how they're mutated, and he wants to figure it out. And that is a key plot point to the beginning of this series, and apparently still is a through line. So
Dragon Lord's looking to milk him for all they got.
We're gonna milk him. Just back to the milking. Like he's got him. He's got. You can see a little bit of his milk tank back here. I think that's what that is.
100%. There's a lot of milk.
And so where are we at? So now Donnie ends up sneaking into the Dragon Lord's lab and ends up freeing Dr. Queese, and who's just again bound and gagged and all that stuff like that. But he ends up freeing him with I don't know what he's using right there to do it, but nevertheless,
it's his staff. He uses like a lever.
Yeah,
all of a sudden everything opens.
Everything opens. Yeah, it's like okay. that was easy enough. And that's so cool. He's fascinated because remember, this is the first time that Dr. Queese is seeing the turtles. Like he's seen the Dragon Lord, which is impressive enough as it is, but the turtles, this is totally new to him. So
and most importantly, the Dragon Lord is not a mutant.
Oh, that's true too. But you're right. I forgot about that.
Like you're gonna help me get mutants,
Right.
And then he sees one and he's like, "Oh, you're my boy.
Yeah.
Like you're my man. Like I study you like all the time
Oh
for
yeah.
what I'm working on."
Exactly. So yeah, so then your boy your boy's just standing there and all of a sudden Donnie gets jumped by the rank and Dr. Queese accepts the Dragon Lord's offer to study Donatello. And
Burns coat right there, dude.
yeah.
Right there. And I hate to say it too, but that guy looks like a lot like Doe, the leader of
Oh
Heaven's
yeah.
Gate. I'm not convinced this is that he's just designed as just Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
Because that guy was bald too, and he had like a little gray hair on the side.
Right.
In the colors, I'm sorry.
That
I'm sorry.
he had the gray hair on the side
too
and everything.
close.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what the guy looked like. Yeah.
That's
Like not
nuts.
like him, obviously, but like he had like I'm pretty sure he had the horseshoe
Yeah.
of like white hair.
Oh goodness. Yeah, it seems a little odd, like because he does have that stereotypical mad scientist look to him, just regardless. But
He
yeah,
does.
I don't know. I think we're onto something because why else were those kids in those suits? That makes no sense. So anyway,
Marshall Applewhite Jr.
oh, that was his name.
If you're curious, yeah.
Oh dang.
Or Doe. That was his
oh.
like cult name.
DOE or DOUJ?
Just DO.
Okay.
Which at the time it was funny because my buddy Odie is like just reverse of that.
Oh yeah.
So we were like, bro, are you like the anti-Doe? This whole thing.
So speaking of whole things, the turtles are back in the lair and they are trying to figure out, well, the remaining turtles are trying to figure out like how to use Donnie's tracker because that's how Donnie has used this machine to find out where the rank are, where any person of interest is throughout this entire series so far. And
absolutely.
Yeah, the turtles just they can't figure it out. They're just like, okay, yeah, no, it just doesn't work. So they decide to to just say, all right, let's just hit the streets. Let's just go. Let's just go. So they jump in their loud ass vehicles, the turtle Hummer, and Raph's whatever Raph's bike is called.
He's got to ride that broke ass Shadow Ace he's trying to ride. And like not to mention, I love how like this time there's an open seat in the Hummer. Like right, because the turtle's missing. So literally there's no excuse.
Oh yeah,
for him to ride the bike and not be in the Humvee with everybody else. But no. He can ride the bike every time.
He's kind of just being like my sister was whenever she learned to drive when we would go to church that was literally across the street from my parents' house.
Across the street.
She would drive around the block.
He would drive to go to church?
Yeah, she would drive around the block
so
so she could blare her music. Just so she could blare NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys or whatever.
That's so perfect.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was like, that's baller right there.
She gets in. She's like,
Gravedigger.
I never want to hear you say.
Yep.
She's there.
Yep.
Like you know what I mean? Like that's it.
That's
like
it.
that's
it.
so good.
You get
like half a line.
Yep. It was wonderful.
I really hope that at some point she gave your dad the bird or something. Yeah. And I don't imagine her driving around the block. I imagine her driving literally across the street and pulling into the parking lot. So it takes literally 2 seconds.
Yeah, just
so she's like, yeah, you know what, David? Burp, big ass bird. He's like, oh. She gets in the car, slams the door. I don't ever want click. And she's like across the street and gets out and walks into church.
That's pretty much
so good.
That's pretty much how it happens.
Yeah.
And that's what the turtles do here, really, because Splinter is again, and thankfully, I appreciate this, where Splinter's like, yeah, no, you are shadow warriors, ninjas.
Yes.
Why are you driving these loud ass vehicles? This makes no sense. And he's not having it. And so I have this image, which I think is the
it's the Milk Boy 2000 or whatever.
The Milk Boy 2000
or whatever they call that thing. The milk, it was something like that.
Yeah. And your boy Donnie is just on the table, just chilling out. And Queese is I hope you don't sneeze. And yeah, just super weird. But they're gonna do the experiments on him. They're not even waiting. And I think this image is Raph dropping in on one of the rank.
Oh, no. I have something I want to say about this.
Okay, because what happens is the turtles find their way to the ranks, like where this is, and they start making their way in.
So, like, one thing we forgot to mention earlier, I just didn't put it in my notes. was that part of the whole thing is that obviously the Dragon Lord built this whole lab for Dr. Queese. Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, I understand that you can hook your brain up to all this equipment. And Dr. Queese is like, yeah, no, I can. Wow, but why would I? Kind of like holding out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So when he goes, oh, nope, we got the turtle, and yeah, I'll do it. We'll do the milking. He hooks his brain implants into this rack of equipment.
Yeah.
So he's controlling that arm, that the Milk Boy 2000 that's like coming down there. That's like being controlled like with his mind, which is kind of an important feature of Dr. Queese that's going to come up later.
How do you control your Milk
This
Boy
is
2000? with your mind?
I wish I could control with my mind. You
I know,
what I'm
right?
saying? I mean, make things a lot easier.
Make things a lot easier.
This is actually, this screenshot is when the turtles, the whole thing is they don't know where to go, like in the rank, like hideout, because like they could be anywhere, which has never been a problem before, but now it is. Like we don't know exactly where Donatello and Dr. Queese are, so like we have to like go all through, and they wind up running into the rank barracks, like where the rank sleep.
That's right. That's what this is. That's right.
Everyone sleeps where they last sat.
Yeah,
it's again just the turtles. They are sleeping on the ground anywhere.
Yeah.
They try to be super stealthy, but of course, Raph can't be stealthy. So he falls onto one of them who snores smoke in his face.
And sleeps with his eyes open, apparently.
I mean, clutching his pillow tight.
Clutching his pillow tight. It's kind of like your brother. Your brother sleeps with his eyes open. That was the most terrifying thing that ever happened in my life.
You woke up and you're like, how long have you been looking at me like that?
Oh, yeah. Like, Shane's just been watching me. And then he doesn't respond to you. I'm like, Shane. Shane.
No,
he just stares
at you. He's like, no.
Like,
that was.
Give me some covers, Tanya.
That was a hell of a night.
No, that was.
We could write our own autobiography about that night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, so this is from when they basically wake up the hive that is the rank's actual barracks. The place where all the rank are sleeping. Right. All the off-duty rank are sleeping. Yep.
And then fighting begins.
It does. I don't think anyone says booty call.
They don't. They haven't said booty call in forever.
I really wish they would.
This would have been a good time.
Maybe someone informed them like later, like a couple episodes after that, where they're like,
oh yeah.
Do you like they went to like Chaim Saban? They're like, do you know what booty call means? And Chaim Saban's like, when you hit someone in the booty, and they're like,
right, nope.
Mr. Saban, come here.
Yeah, come here.
Come over here.
Let me show
you.
And
he comes back like shocked. He's like, shit. I went on here. Oh shit. So highlight of the fighting is when Venus uses a rope to literally rope a dope like 4 rank, and it's like not even a contest.
Yeah.
So the rank, one of the rank reports back to the Dragon Lord, who is still in the lab with Dr. Queese, saying like, the turtles are assaulting the barracks. It's really bad. Why'd you let us do this? All this shit like that. And Dragon Lord's like, okay. I'm gonna go fight them. You, Quick, you are in charge of monitoring Dr. Queese. Mm-hmm. And that's when you should know it first. This is not going to work out well. No. So he runs. So this is like, once again, this is all cutting back and forth really fast, which I kind of did like. It wasn't fun to make notes on, but I did like that it was really going like the turtles are fighting. Mm-hmm. Donnie's like one step closer to being milked. You know what I'm saying? And we go back and like Raph's fighting a guy, and then the Dragon Lord's like, I'm gonna go down there, and then Donnie's about to get milked again. So you're getting close, and this whole time Donnie and Dr. Queese are having this like dialogue, right? Where Donnie's like kind of like honestly, Dr. Queese being like really rough. You know what I'm saying? To the boom song. That's genius. Goddamn. Like he's being like really like kind of callous to Donnie. Like, well, like at one point he's like bringing down the Milk Boy, and he's like, in the interest of science, tell me if this hurts. And you see like a needle about to go in his body. And you're like, God damn, you're awful. But they get into this argument. I just thought it was important. It's not really in my notes, but I remember just seeing the screenshot. They get into this debate because Dr. Queese is like, oh, I'm going to use dormant mutated cells or something to insert them in your body to isolate your mutated cells or something. And Donnie kind of cuts right back with some science shit where he's like,
Yeah.
your dormant mutant cells won't be able to find my active mutant cells because of this problem.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of debating it back and forth, which I liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was Donnie trying to appeal to Dr. Queese. Like, now that he knows that maybe he's like not the best guy,
Mm-hmm.
he's almost weirdly trying to like assist in his own vivisection.
Yeah, almost because he can't help himself as a scientist. Like he
Yeah.
kind of has to do it, knowing it's a deal with the devil kind of thing.
Yeah, it summarizes the weird spot that Donnie is in. Because Donnie's not like bad mouthing him really. Donnie's not really like saying like, oh, you piece of shit, untie me. He's not saying that. He's kind of like, well, hey man, there's other ways. Dr. Queese, like, ooh, don't do that. Like, listen, like that thing's not gonna work. And you're like, dude, like, you're like borderline trying to bargain here. And I'm like, for the betterment of science, you need to like get out of here.
But I
that screenshot's genius.
Oh,
I need to get that to Alicia.
I've lost control of my body.
Let me tell you something, dude. That silver. So I blew a little cat. That screenshot, dude, has been going around with me and her.
Oh, that's amazing.
I remember on the podcast I said like that's me whenever I like overspend my budget. And Alicia's like, what? I'm like, so I blew a little cat. Like, I sent that to her and she loves it. She's been sending it to like all of her other friends.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like, or whatever. She had that big LA trip and classic, like, I bought some books and she accepted. So I blew a little cash to one of her friends. It's like going around apparently with all the authors and stuff. And like, dude, it's so funny. And this is another one. I lost control of my money. I mean, that's another. I mean, that's her. After I'm like, so I blew a little gas. She's like, I've lost control of my money. That's what it looks like. That's me tied onto the little bed there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I'm about to get wrecked, and I'm laying there going, so I blew a little gas. This is the whole thing, and it's like a loop. Anyway,
but to your point about Donnie, I kind of love that he's showing that science means more to him than any kind of moral. Like, obviously, I think Donnie would still make the best judgment call, like at the final hour, you know, last second kind of thing, that he would do the right thing. But I think that the science is going to be like one of his like downfalls at some point in the trajectory of this Donatello. And
100%.
Kind of love that.
Yeah, and I think you pick on a good point, because that's one reason I wanted to slow down and talk about it for a second, because it's really interesting how he's dealing with Dr. Queese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because it really does. And I really think that there are like cult elements like laid into this, and that there is a theme. And you don't say as much about Next Mutation or anything. But I think whoever wrote this, honestly, whoever wrote this had a head on their shoulders about like trying to put a message in here about like almost like never meet your heroes kind of shit.
Oh,
like there's a lot of that in here. There's never meet your heroes. There's the disillusionment of basically like 2 legs good, 4 legs bad a little bit, like where I believe that I'm the biggest asset to this person, right? Like I should be like his closest because I'm an actual mutant,
right?
But then you turn out that he doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
He cares about your body and milking you effectively.
Yeah.
So you have to grapple with like all this shit. Like there's like cognitive dissonance enough to go around. You know what I mean? And Donnie's literally acting in a super like dissonant way.
Yeah.
Like psychologically toward Dr. Queese, which I think is really interesting.
It is.
Yeah, no, it's fun. So we're still trying to get him milked. You know what I mean? It's getting damn close. When Mikey, I guess somehow leaves the fight out there. And
there's also this one. Sorry.
That's like an alt-art, bro. You gotta be alt-art. Mikey's looking a little wall-eyed right there. I don't know about that, but you know
that's why
there might be too much of it.
I specifically screenshot that, went back and did it again to get that shot for you. So yeah,
I've lost control of my money. That's yep.
So good.
I feel like that was almost me buying Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
But then literally saying, like, I don't want to be that person. And I literally didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that could have been you.
Like, that could have been me playing Baldur's Gate and acting like a goddamn rabid possum whenever when someone came in the room.
Yeah.
That's what I do with like all encompassing games. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like whenever like Alicia's like, it's been dinner time. And I'm like,
right.
Woman. You know what I mean? Like, so I just made the decision. Like, I'm not gonna play Baldur's Gate 3 until I'm done with some stuff I got to do because I
There you
can't
go.
afford it. But that would be me right
Yep.
there.
If you did.
I've lost control of my money
Yep.
again. That no, I need to get both of those.
Okay.
Figure out which one Alicia likes best.
Yeah.
So so Mikey sneaks in there and kind of finds the cable that connects Dr. Queese to the gear, and it's just an 1/8" stereo cable.
That's
I
all it
love
is.
that. Through like an 1/8" to 1/8" adapter for no reason into another 1/8" cable. Like
Yeah.
if you're around in the 90s, you're like, yeah, that literally is like part of my stereo rig. Like
Yeah.
that was part of like how I hooked up my record player to my stereo back to my CD player. Like that's what that is.
Oh, absolutely.
So he finds that he's connected to these devices. And Mikey's like, damn, dog, that's kind of strange. So elsewhere, the Dragon Lord shows up to fight the turtles and gets rope-a-doped. And it's like in the silliest way possible.
Yeah.
He winds up in a net and he's just defenseless with some literal like Dr. Claw, like, you'll pay next time kind of shit. And I'm like, and I just gotta just say for a second, this is a gigantic power level demotion for your man, Dragon Lord, dude.
Absolutely.
This is the man that breathed like napalm fire.
Yeah.
Like can breathe fire enough to kill a man.
Right.
Like 10 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally he's the guy that has been shown that literally not only can he defeat the turtles one at a time, but all at once. So he passes both those tests. All right, that's classic Shredder, TMNT movie 1, Shredder style, which like, I can get all y'all and each one of y'all, right? But literally fighting him burns you.
Oh yeah, because his skin.
After the first time they fight Dragon Lord, literally the turtles have like 2nd-degree burns on their hands.
Yeah.
They rope-a-dope him and put a cargo net over him, and all he can do is throw a tantrum on his belly and say, "You'll pay for this."
Okay, so I'm gonna new
that
drink
was really
this
disappointing.
a little bit.
Yep.
So the new drink, dude. How many times have you been wrapped up in a blanket and couldn't get out?
You're not wrong,
dude. I'm telling you, I think we're. I agree with what you're saying. I'm with you 100%. Well, I'm 99%, but there's that 1% that is like, but nets though, like nets. I mean,
yeah.
Come on,
like Netasa.
Netasa.
But no one talks shit about Netasa.
No one talks shit about Netasa.
It might be the last shit you talk.
It might be, yeah, because then you caught the last shit you talk, and then you caught.
You're caught.
And then,
oh,
and then yeah, you can't.
Yeah, dude.
And so I don't know. I don't know, man.
I just really wish that like. So the beginning of the conceit of this was like literally we go and like make the Shredder look in his own goddamn mirror and destroy his soul.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Dragon Lord is the next level up. He's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
And it was just annoying to see the old like LOL. Like this is an 87 animated series Shredder move right here.
Oh, absolutely.
Like where there's no threat, don't worry about it. That was a little whatever. Yeah. Anyways, the episode concludes pretty quickly.
It does.
Because Mikey, not caring anything about what this like foreign object could do to like Dr. Queese's brain.
Yeah.
There's got to be like an interface, like voltage matching situation, high impedance, low impedance. Who knows? Your boy's like, I hooked that up to my Game Boy. And you're like, you what? And Mikey with just no concerns, like, I will jack my Game Boy into your brain.
Yeah.
And he does it. And is then able to control Dr. Queese, like his whole nervous system with his Game Boy.
Yes.
Which is hilarious.
Yes.
This causes him to lose control of his money.
Right.
You know what I mean? And probably his bowels at the same time. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. When someone hijacks your entire central nervous system, that's probably not like the first thing that your body goes, oh, better keep that pee in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, that's not a thing.
No.
So he literally marches Dr. Queese away from the examination table, like makes him go to the other side of the room, all herky jerky, and goes and frees Donnie. Okay. So the turtles escape and we're back in the lair. Okay. So everyone's all happy. Like the turtles are literally like Raph and Leo are just joking about unrelated shit. Mikey's kind of saying, yeah, man, like these Game Boy games are kind of lame now that like I was controlling a human's nervous system, dude. Like, like it's kind of like a little lame. And I'm gonna play like whatever, like TMNT the arcade game on the thing, or no, sorry, Fall of the Foot Clan.
Fall of the Foot Clan.
This is the best Game Boy game.
Yep.
Oh, baby. I'm gonna play Fall of the Foot Clan, but that's like not as good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
As like controlling a whole human's body.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Everyone's got hanging out except your boy Donnie, who is on the rough side of some disillusionment, dude. Your boy is like having a hard ass time.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So the end of this is going to be, I wrote out the script. Okay, we're gonna do this because
Oh,
I
you did?
love this
Oh.
dialogue so much. I wrote it
Oh.
out in the script. Okay.
Is it okay?
So
I think I found it.
Yeah, so it's right there. The last handful of bullet points. It starts with Donnie. Okay, so it's a little script, and
Okay.
at the very end, there's a little piece at the end. Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to read about the episode end.
Okay.
So I want you to be Donnie if you're good with that, and I want to be Splinter.
Okay.
Okay.
Any direction for
And
Donnie?
remember, the direction is like, remember how he is at the end of the episode? He's kind of dejected.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Okay.
the only human who, like
Oh,
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And a little and like defensive.
Okay. Okay.
Especially when Splinter says what he's got to say.
Let me
And
wet the
like he
whistle.
gets all defensive. Well, yeah, please do. I'm gonna take a little sip of my soda as well.
Man. All right.
Do you still get headaches when you eat red meat?
Occasionally. It's not quite the same,
But not as bad. Oh,
it
praise
doesn't.
be.
But I also don't eat a lot of it to know. So
Interesting.
mhm.
Are you ready? This is a dramatic reading of the end of this episode. Dude, Raph looks so mean in that screenshot.
He does. That's why I took it. That's why I took that screenshot.
Damn, your boy's a straight gangster, dude.
He
Everybody
is.
else looks like a chuckle fuck. Dude, Raph looks like it's bad. Like those two dudes are just cheesing out back there.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
Raph looks like that's the look you don't want to see in the alley.
No. Unless no.
Your boy's like, why so serious?
You want to know how I got these scars?
You want to know how I got these scars?
Some pizza crust.
You want to know how about me at
stuffed crust?
Stuffed crust. Your boy looks like he had a few too many stuffed crust.
He
All right, you ready?
did.
All right, so you're gonna open up as Donnie. All right, here we go.
All right. Okay. All right. God. The only human in the world who understands the phenomenon of our mutation, and he works for the Dragon Lord, man.
Only the corruptible can be corrupted.
No, Master, no. Dr. Queez just needs to know that there are mutants out there that believe in him.
Or is it you, Donatello, who feels the need to have him believe in you? Get wrecked,
Man.
dude. And Donnie's got no words after that.
Nothing.
Dude. I loved that. I loved that dialogue because that got real as shit for a minute.
It did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Snaps for us.
Oh. Yeah. Of course.
So I did a great job.
Likewise.
You gotta have a little of that like Luke Skywalker, like New Hope Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I won't. No.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyway, Donatello. So Splinter drops that dead ass. Is it you, Donatello, or is it you, Donatello, who feels the need to have him believe in you? And it undoes the kid real bad.
It does.
Because that lays it bare. Donnie's like, yo, you shook me with that. You unzipped me.
Yeah.
Like,
unzipped him.
I gotta be 100.
Yeah.
Well, we can get into our actual final thoughts. I'll just so the episode ends. This is getting into final thoughts. So the Dragon Lord returns back to the lab to find Dr. Queese and Wick and the rank all tied up, and he's super mad about it. And it's a little bit of the funny, like everything's under control, Majesty, from Wick, and then no, and then it's kind of over, right?
Yeah.
So that's the episode. So I guess I'll shoot to you, Eric, and open up the final thoughts on it with the kind of the cult and the Donnie and Dr. Queese relationship stuff, and just ask you kind of like what your thoughts are on it as being like the main, I guess, storyline and theme of the episode.
So I totally picked up on the cult thing at first, but then I lost it very quickly. Having the Donatello idolize somebody is not unusual for the character because in almost every iteration he's got he's very quick to want to adore somebody who who knows something that he wants to know, or is vaguely even interested in the same things that he is. And I understand that on a level of, that's why we're friends. That's why all of our patrons and the Turtletarians are friends, because we all have this shared interest. But Donatello being not only the only one of his brothers, which are the only ones of their mutation, that has that desire for science and all that, because the others can kind of get down with each other in still goofy ways. Donnie can too, but like Donnie could also be as practiced as Leonardo, or he could be as angry as Raphael, or he could be as silly as Michelangelo, but none of the others are going to be like as sciencey as he is. And so it kind of alienates him a little bit more. And I love that this episode is typifies that and just shows that. And but like it's, and you were talking about it really well about how Donnie just is completely oblivious to his own plight in this situation, and is foregoing that for the cause of science, because he's so enamored in this this situation that he doesn't realize that how toxic of a relationship that it is. And he still believes that somebody could be saved even though they don't have any interest in being saved. And that's something that I think is just despite Splinter saying the beautiful thing that we reenacted, I still think that that's something that I don't know that kids would fully grasp that yet, that's a thing. And that's something that if you would have told me was in Next Mutation, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have never thought on a multiple choice kind of thing. Is a plot line like this in Next Mutation, I would have never guessed that, because this is pretty deep for this show. And Turtles, it's on par for Turtles in general, like the comics and stuff. This is a storyline that you would see in Mirage. It would probably be like a Donnie Micro or something. I could totally see that. And I could totally see that in the 2003, 2012 series. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And it shows a maturity that I'm here for, and I enjoyed it.
It does. I think that like one thing it speaks to as well, and kind of like dissecting a little bit of like what Splinter said at the end of the episode, which is how they leave the episode. I mean, they give you a little funny with like Dragon Lord and Wick and stuff, but like they leave it on this like, oh damn dog, like everyone in the sewer's like, oh shit, dude, like he just read Donnie to filth, and Donnie's like got nothing to say. He's on hush mouth. Is the idea that Donnie wanted so much to believe that Dr. Queeze was a human who would understand him and his brothers. That was like such a big thing to him. He's even willing to look past the fact that like Dr. Queeze doesn't have the like most sterling like medical record. He's rogue. Like he's not like there's a whole bunch of other scientists that are like, dude, like I can't be hanging out with you, dog. Like you can't be in my groups because you're weird. So everyone kicked him out of all the chats. You know what I'm saying? But Donnie is still like, well, humans hate us.
Yeah.
Like humans are scared of us. So like it would make sense that like somebody who would understand us is also shunned by humanity.
That's what I was going to say.
He's a human.
Yeah.
So like, man, like, so we got a lot in common, and like, and man, he's going to understand me, and I can't wait. And you get almost a weird feeling that like Donnie wanted to reach out and meet him anyway. Like you get a feeling that like, that was a little bit like why Donnie showed up. That's why Donnie wanted to his lecture. That's why Donnie wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
Because he was like damn near sold enough to show himself to Dr. Queeze to potentially,
which is a big thing,
like be part of it. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're told in classic. I mean, like I know that the new movie makes the milking joke, but like that's been a threat to the Turtles since Mirage. Like you know we strike hard and disappear into the night because like we can't be around the police or science army or anybody because like they're gonna like milk us, bro. Like, that's dead ass. Like that's real life. So you have Donnie ready to make this move, and then like even in the face of like going into danger to rescue Dr. Queeze, right? The minute he gets them, Dr. Queeze is like, yeah, you're nothing to me. Like you're literally a specimen to me. Like I don't care. And then Donnie can't grab with it, and then I think that's the main theme, which is so good, is Donnie needed him to be that thing, which is how cults work.
Yeah.
Like the reason that cult leaders can take people from all different walks of life and stuff like that, who all share the common traits of being vulnerable or whatever, from a rich family, a poor family. The reason that one cult leader can gain cult of personality over them is not because this cult leader is the most charming person ever. It's because this cult leader is really good at representing the one thing that all these different people need.
Yeah.
He's like a mirror, reflecting their desires, right?
Like my dad?
Like, dude, when your dad said, "I'm a mirror, man," I'm telling you,
Ah!
that's got more.
That's got more to it.
That's got more layers. Right? That's an onion. That's got more layers than even
Jeez.
right?
Yeah.
That's how all the great cult leaders got where they were, and how they're able to, get these people to do wild things.
Right.
Is because but if I just commit myself harder, if I he'll see me and understand me, and that's what I need. That's what Dr. Quee says to Donatello.
Yeah.
So Donatello still ain't right at the end of this. He's still working through it, and I gotta be honest, really impressed that whole thing was in an episode of Next Mutation.
Yeah.
Right alongside the horse sound effects and Dragon Lord falling in the poop and stuff. I mean, literally, that was all in the same episode.
All in the same episode. Yeah.
So I really liked it for that reason. I mean, as far as other plot lines, it was all right. But it's overall, I think, the cult angle and everything like that with Donnie was really good.
That was probably the best thing. The main, like you just said, the main like plot and stuff is very stereotypical. However, and I thought it was gonna be that. I thought it was just gonna be, the mad scientist starts. I kind of could tell where it was gonna go.
You can see it coming down the tracks. Yeah,
but all the cult stuff and then the emotional heartstring stuff with Donnie, I was not expecting that, and to feel that as much as I did. And I really enjoyed it. And again, this show is coming through. Like, I don't know where all the hate is. Like, I get the goofiness stuff, but I mean,
the goofiness. I think some of the sound effects, sometimes an episode will get you where you're kind of like, you know what I mean? I wonder if it's a thing in an episode, but
I wonder if it's kind of like the thing where, you think back about shows that you loved as a kid, or we did as kids in the 90s and 80s and whatnot. And you're like, oh yeah, they were amazing. They were really good. And then you go back and watch them now and they all have laugh tracks. And you're like, some of them are like, oh, this is real bad. I can't watch this anymore. I wonder if that, like what you're saying about how the sound effects and stuff, I wonder if that plays a factor into that at all. So far, it's not taking me out. But
no, that kind of takes me out. We talked about some of the sound effects. We're like, my God.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to appreciate. Once again, our expectations are low. I have to also keep that in mind, right? Us coming into this show, our expectations, because of what we'd heard, dude, this is awful. People hate this. So now we're going to find, it's not the worst thing ever made. Yeah. So we're going to find the good things about it. I think that when this show came out, people had a lot of hope for it. I think that generation of kids who had already kind of outgrown the Turtles by the later 90s. Let's be honest, this thing's been around for 10 years now. I'm kind of, let me move on.
Yeah.
They may have seen this. Oh, it's live action. Oh, it's by Saban. It's kind of like Power Rangers. I'm in. Oh, shit. And it wasn't good. And I think that we're maybe still seeing the echoes of that original generation who got into this show. Yeah. And their hatred of it. I think we're still feeling the waves of that, even though it might feel different to somebody now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I definitely think that. But I am loving this. I'm enjoying the hell out of this show.
It was a good episode, and
it was
in general.
Fun. I don't know.
23 are there 23 episodes of the show?
I think there's a little more than that. I think, but
I was looking it up earlier, and I forgot the number.
And surprisingly, again, this one was not on the DVD release. So those DVD releases.
Isn't that so weird?
It is.
Oh, yeah. 26.
Yeah.
26.
26. Does that include the two Power Rangers crossovers? Do you know?
What are those episodes called?
I don't remember off the top of my head. But
I'm looking for I'm trying to spoil myself. I'm just looking at
And Wilson just said that's 21 more episodes than Platinum Dudes.
Wow. Oh, there's a 4-part thing coming up here. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
They're over there somewhere. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And then we're also gonna review every episode of Power Rangers to lead up to that crossover. But we're gonna do
100% all the way from the beginning.
from the beginning. But we're also gonna do it like just in one episode. So we're gonna
Yeah,
do
and we're
basically
gonna
like,
do
so
it. We're gonna do
basically.
an old 87 animated series review style. So
yeah,
it's going to
yeah.
be 5 or 6 days long.
Yeah, our death fall to Bandor's palace, wherever it is. So
Wow.
yeah. Guys, gals, people, folks, friends, family,
People.
patrons,
Turtletarians.
patron rangers,
Yep.
Turtletarians.
Patron
Let us
Rangers,
know.
Turtletarians.
What did you think of this? Would you join?
Heaven's Gate followers.
Yeah, any of y'all still around?
All y'all.
Let us know. Would you join Dr. Queese's cult? Or would you be like Donatello? Have you ever had an instance where you met your hero and they turned out to be a Queese? And could that be like a weird slang term? That sounds real. It sounds too close to some other stuff.
It's way too close to the word, but it's actually hilarious because
Yeah.
it's not. So you can use it as an insult. It's very
Right.
90s.
It's very 90s.
Bro,
It totally
that
sounds like
dude's a total. That dude's a total Queese.
dude.
Yes. Okay. We gotta make that stick.
We might have to. So it kind of sounds like Gen Z lingo, and I found
It
this
does.
I found this TikTok, Ryan, where this person reads Bible stories, but in Gen Z
nice.
lingo, and it's hilarious.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
like,
so
no
good.
Cap and all that shit.
Oh yeah, it's so good. But anyway, hey guys, gals, everybody that I just said a minute ago, let us know any of things that you feel or think about this episode. Were we loud and wrong about anything? Definitely hit us up, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You can also throw some stuff in the chat, which we will talk about momentarily. And head on over to turtlesoupshow.com. You'll find all our old episodes up there to listen to, and that's fun. And then you can follow us on the social medias, Facebook group, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And then come on over here to YouTube if you're just listening to us on the audio, and but if you're on the video, watching us on the video, please like and subscribe here on YouTube. It means a lot, helps us a lot. And tell your friends and family if you think they'll like the show. Just bring them all. Just everybody. Come on over. And so I think that's going to do it for us now, or tonight, this evening, this episode. And so we'll be back next Prime episode with some more Next Mutation. So until then, else time.
Your love is dead ass.